All right, Lisa. You just went through a rebirthing ceremony. How do you feel?
Rebirth.
Like you're a new...
I am brand new. It's been 4 days since I finished the 7-day fasting regime. It was a decision I have been thinking about for a very long time, and it was just a challenge to see if I could do it and see what the results would be. I had no preconceived ideas. So I was a little anxious on the first day. I don't know if I can do this, but at least I have Kimberly and David, and they're not eating, and there's no food in this Airbnb, so we're gonna make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the longest fast you've done before this?
3 days was the longest I'd done, and on the third day I was pretty much ready to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I was very hangry. When I got to day 3 on this one, I noticed a definite dip in my energy, and I needed to take it easy. We did yoga on the beach most of the mornings, except for day 4 and 5. Those were kind of the low energy days, so I rested a lot, and my body rested a lot. And on day 5, we had been doing daily enemas, and so I've been seeing how much brown fecal matter. It started getting lighter in color, but it was still there on day 5. And I thought, wow, it's been that long. I've eaten in 5 days. That's kind of amazing. But I also learned about the mucoid plaque, the lining on the inside of your intestine, and I researched it and looked at it a little bit skeptical, but then on my bowel movement that morning, it was clear at first and then definitely made a transition to greenish black gel, because it was heavy because it went to the bottom of the bowl. And I felt lighter immediately, and I felt clearer headed immediately. I know this sounds too good to be true. If you haven't done it before I did it, I didn't have any idea this would ever happen to me. And I just was so joyous about it. I started researching, and one of the first things I saw on the internet was it's hypothetical, and I thought, I just saw it in the bowl. It's not hypothetical for me. So maybe if you have never done a 7-day fast, it might be hypothetical for you, and that's okay, because I feel the difference. And as that day went on, I had actually a second release of that same substance, and that is from my research I saw, is a substance that coats your intestines that doesn't allow nutrients to enter your body. And it made sense to me because the very next day, on day 6, all of my joints ached. And I thought, this isn't fun. And then I remembered when I was here a year ago, I got the stem cell therapy in my knees.
How much did you pay for that stem cell therapy, Lisa?
Thousands. And that was cheap. And it was from, I thought the best source, which was a human umbilical cord, a placenta of a newborn, and they take it from a mother who is in her prime. I can't remember all the restrictions, but prime, cesarean, checked out, all that stuff, top quality, and I felt better when I had that treatment. But it did fade. But I felt better when I first did it, and my therapist at home said, you should do that treatment again. I said, yeah, but it's so expensive. And as I first got that treatment, I could feel pain in my joints when I got the treatment from the stem cell therapy. And so I recognized it was the same pain that I was feeling
when you were fasting.
When I was fasting, and I was right, and my stem cells are being recreated
on their own.
On their
you didn't need anything outside of you to create new stem cells.
I gave them the ability to do that. Also, another little side, it was pretty major, that happened was I was in another part of Mexico before this, and I ate some street food, and I felt very ill for about 10 days, and I believe that I probably acquired some friendly little bugs in my stomach, more commonly known as parasites. And I actually saw those exit in my
Enemas.
Yeah. And I could feel them in my stomach when I became aware of that they created more thirst. I could feel on the third day, a dryness right here that I never felt before. From some like needing to drink now, and it was a very unusual dryness. It's like, I just drank water. Why am I parched again? And
that's exactly what happened to me. It's so interesting.
Yeah, and I realized it was the parasites wanting water because 3 days of no food, they were dying in there, and I could feel it in my stomach when I was sick for those 10 days. I felt a difference in my stomach being in tune to my body as I am anyway. So I just observing my own body. I didn't need to go online or anything. I just observed and felt like those parasites exited, and I had a dry spot on one leg on my left shin, and it had been there actually for several months, and I would just keep putting lotion on, treating the symptoms. I had no idea it could be related to parasites, but after I saw the parasites in the bowl and realized that, hey, I've probably gotten rid of the parasites, the dry skin went away.
I know. It's so interesting that we had the same experience, because I also had a dry patch on my elbow, and when I realized I had parasites, like it's gone now. Like so a lot of people think, oh, I just have eczema, or I just this or that, but they don't often know the underlying cause. The root cause can be mostly from parasites, and most people have them. They talk about it in other countries, but in the United States, do we ever talk about parasites?
No, it's kind of taboo, and you can't see them, and they're so prevalent, I think, because of our food and our pets that we dearly love. I know many friends who've had dogs that get giardia because they play in the field with the other dogs, and we not to be over hyperly sensitive about everything, but it's just kind of a good idea to do a cleanup once a year.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, I'm still going to enjoy my life and enjoy the bounty of this earth, and not be germphobic and always be aware of everything, but know that I now have tools to do a cleanup once a year.
And you can do it without anything outside of yourself. That's the amazing thing, right? Like, does it feel really empowering to know that you can heal yourself?
Yeah, it's like a little internal reset, and the hunger pangs, I think of those now as producing HGH, that growth hormone, and I read online that that's what intermittent fasting does, so I feel that that's what it's been doing also with that, and I never really believed in the power of fasting.
And what happened with your knee?
My knee.
After fasting for 7 days?
My knees, my joints.
Yeah, you said some inflammation?
Well, my whole body had less inflammation, and all of my joints have had inflammation, and I noticed, I went salsa dancing last night, and usually after dancing, I'll be a little more inflamed, and I'm getting old, and I just have this inflammation. Didn't have any inflammation last night after dancing.
Yay, you are reborn! I love it!
So it's kind of wonderful to experience my body healing itself.
And you don't have to feel old. Like, people just think, oh, I'm getting old, it's natural. But you now know that you don't have to feel that way, right?
Yeah, I can feel, 35 years old the rest of my life.
That's right. I love it. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Lisa. We love you.